Where would Andy Leavine be today if when Vince McMahon slapped him, unscripted, on Raw, Andy had slapped him back?
Man, I don't remember him slapping him. But here's the thing. Andy Leavine, the winner of Tough Enough 2011, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think it really had so much to do with the slap, and we can get into that because I didn't see it. But here's the thing. I told every one of those kids, I said, it's going to be tough enough to win this damn contest. It's going to be even tougher once you get into business and you try to make it. And so, after this season, just finished up Tough Enough, and they're like, well, so far their track record is they've never found a star out of all the Tough Enoughs that have been through the system. Some didn't win it, but they're actively wrestling today. So, I don't know that it was ever in the cards. I don't think they really even had a plan for Andy Leavine, once he won, that year's Tough Enough. So it wasn't about getting slapped by Vince. I don't think they ever had any plans for the kid, to have a future. Because, dude, here's the thing. You just won Tough Enough. That was a badass show. We got fortunate. Me, Booker T, Bill DeMott, Trish Stratus bonded together, Eric Van Wagenen behind the scenes. And we knocked that one out of the park. It was a great show. And the contestants did fantastic. And so you got a kid, and he wasn't the most charismatic individual. So you had a springboard or a starting platform for him, and then they neglected that, didn't use it, and it was what it was. It was a dud.
Going to the moment, you don't even have to know what happened or see it happen, but there's just a segment where Vince, confronted Andy on Raw as a Tough Enough winner to kind of do a follow-up on it, and he slapped him unscripted hard. Andy is a guy in his 20s. Vince is a guy in his 60s. Would Vince McMahon, knowing Vince as you do, have fired Andy behind the scenes or filed charges or just been totally upset if Andy had slapped him back because it was a hard, unscripted slap? Or would he have respected Andy if Andy slapped him back? And I know that it might be different if Vince was in his 40s or 50s and 60s, and maybe that changes the dynamic. But when you throw a slap at somebody and they don't slap you back, does Vince McMahon lose respect for you?
Man, I tell you what, I think Vince would have wholeheartedly endorsed the guy if he would have slapped him back. And that might have been a litmus test right there, on the spot, uncalled, to see what the kid would do. And so that could have been, fail or pass. And maybe when he didn't slap him back, he failed. But I guarantee you, had he lit Vince up, Vince would have respected his ass, and he would have taken it because he dished out the first potato and taken a receipt, and probably gained a hell of a lot of respect for the kid. And maybe then they'd had some plans for him. And I'm not going to say that was the plan. That's how it went down. I don't know. But yeah, no, Vince wouldn't have got mad at him. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's my thought too. I think he might have made he might have made himself in Vince McMahon's eyes had he had that.
He might have. Dude, you show some backbone, all of a sudden, again, it could have been a test. We don't know.
Yeah. Yep.